President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will share a podium with his deputy Dr. William Samoei Ruto just a few days after the DP referred to him as Tapele. I'll be monitoring that particular event very closely to read the body language, the tone of their messages, and even the sitting arrangements. But for now, I want us to look at how Raila Odinga's 6,000 cash transfer program has diluted William Ruto's hustler narrative. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Now let us get back to the main business. And by the way, I want to thank everyone who has come through for me during these trying moments following the demise of my father, who will be laid to rest on the 30th. I know most people are wondering, but my dad loved whatever I'm doing, and I will tell you a story on how he actually inspired me to do whatever I'm doing. My father used to be a librarian at the University of Nairobi, and you know, during those days, they used to have a lot of materials, and my dad never used to miss reading newspapers. So I read a lot of materials, I read a lot of newspapers, and that's what drove me to love politics. That's a story for another day. And for those who are still willing to support me, the M-Pesa number is 0712 741323. Let me repeat, 0712 741323. The name should be Omondi Kogal. Now, let us get back to serious business. William Samoei Ruto was controlling the narrative in this country. And if there's one thing which was spreading like bushfire in this country, then it was the hustler narrative. The hustler narrative was one of the narrative which the DP has lost, I don't know for what particular gain. But the truth of the matter is that the moment the DP started the hustler narrative, I think it was coined by Monthy. And of course, this country, we have two groups. We have the haves and the have-nots. Monthy put it in a way which was able to isolate William Samoei Ruto as a hustler and place Raila Odinga as part of the dynasty. But I think what has spoiled for the DP was his fight with President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So when the president came out, I think it was during Musalia Mudavadi's mother's funeral, when the president came out very strongly and warned those who were attacking them, the DP decided to shift. They decided to shift the narrative to something else. And later on, they came up with a bottom-up approach. And Raila Odinga was not campaigning by that time. So the past few weeks, Raila Odinga has been on the campaign trail. And I did opine on this platform that Raila Odinga was outwitting the deputy president because the DP engaged in early campaigns and therefore he exposed himself. And one thing which I pointed out was the fact that Raila Odinga was not trying to pick and counter whatever narrative the DP was trying to advance. So the DP was advancing the hustler narrative, and he was proposing to give the youths, for example, the women and business, small businesses, some grants. He was talking of 120 million per year through constituencies, to constituencies. So Raila Odinga decided to counter that by now saying that for me, I'm going to give unemployed youths 6,000 every month. 6,000 unemployed youth every month. The DP is promising 120 million to people who are not known. He's promising youths, not yet identified. He's promising women. He's promising businessmen. So if you're not a business person, definitely you are likely not to get it. But Raila now is coming up with something which is calling cash transfer. So that cash transfer program, which Raila Odinga is proposing, is diluting the deputy president William Ruto's hustler narrative. And to confirm that, the deputy president then started terming it as a handout. 200 bob per day handout. You see, if you take 60,000, if you take 2,000, 6,000, you divide by 30, that's 200 Kenya shillings. That's a good amount of money in Africa. Because in Africa, people spend their lives, people depend on $1 a day. That's the honest truth. So this is how Raila Odinga's 6,000 cash transfer has affected the DP. Number one, it is practical and it is real. When Kibaki came into government, he promised free primary education. Most people thought it was not going to be possible. It's possible. The only problem is that it's being mismanaged. So Raila Odinga is saying he's going to give Kenyans who are not working 6,000. And he's saying Kenyans are asking whether there's that money. Raila Odinga is saying there's a lot of corruption in the government. So if those corruption holes can be closed, then that money can be made available to Kenyans. And remember, the deputy president was talking of wheelbarrows, giving youth wheelbarrows. And giving youth wheelbarrows, how is that going to empower them? He's talking of giving them 120 million per constituency. You know, it's not very clear. It's not coming out very clearly on how he's going to do it. Raila Odinga's theory or proposal is simple. He will identify all unemployed youths who are the majority in this country, and each one of them will be given what? 6,000. When Jubilee government came into power, they promised laptops to students. It was ambitious, but not practical. So it failed. Let us wait and see, because I'm wondering, Raila Odinga is also even promising the youth that help will be a grant. It will no longer be repaid. Where will he get the money? So it's basically a populist politics in response to William Ruto's populist politics. So he's beating Ruto on that. Number two, Raila Odinga's past promises. If you look at the history of Raila Odinga and the kind of promises he's been making, some of them has worked before. You compare to William Ruto, who has made several promises. Some of those promises never worked before. So that's the line. That's where the line is being drawn. That for Raila Odinga, he's actually been able to make a promise, and those promises have always been fulfilled. The DP has always made promises, and those promises has never been fulfilled up to date. And because of that, there are majority of Kenyans who feel that if they were to weigh William Ruto and Raila Odinga, and in terms of promises, who can fulfill their promises? Most of them are feeling that Raila Odinga can fulfill the promises just based on the past promises they made to the public. Number three, why it's now confusing to the hustler nation is because it targets a specific group. Maybe Raila Odinga will come with a strategy that after Form 4, you go for a training. If you don't get a job, that's when you apply. Or you can say any age bracket, let's say 25 or let's say 30, without employment will be given the cash. That's very specific. What about this one where you apply? Maybe the requirements would be so strict that majority of the youth in this country will not be able to get the loans which the DP is promising. So Raila Odinga has actually managed to tame the DP. And if the DP is not careful, he was controlling the narrative. Let me just read for you a few posts which I was reading online. Let me just read them for you. Very interesting, okay? Because it's losing the drift. Gabriel Oguda is saying, Ruto siku hizi anaongea kwa rally na watu wanamwangalia tu. Hata stories za wheelbarrows aliachana nayo. The guy is painful for me. Then he's also saying that the Hustler Nation Intelligence Bureau are currently compiling keywords that will form William Ruto's campaign's manifesto. Among those suggested by UDA experts include Mganga, Kitendawili, Mabwenyenye, Raundi Hii, Reggae, God and the People, my friend. So basically, William Ruto's messaging has lost. So he's no longer talking of the hustler. He's no longer talking of the dynasties. He's now very personal on his attacks. But Raila Odinga is coming with a solution which is targeted at a specific group of people. Number 4, the bottom-up approach which the DP and this group are now pushing for is not well explained. Personally, It's not well explained to me. If you ask them, there was that day Alice Wahome was on TV and she was actually unable to explain what bottom-up approach is. That's the challenge for the DP. It was easy to explain the hustler narrative, which they've now thrown away because they came up with the wheelbarrow, and wheelbarrow was attacked, they threw away. Then they tried now to explain the whole approach as bottoms-up approach, where you say mama mboga, mtu wa mkokoteni, mtu wa boda boda, but it's not well explained. So few Kenyans are actually understanding what the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, is trying to is trying to tell Kenyans. And lastly, why Raila Odinga is winning is because William Ruto is part and parcel of Jubilee government. Most Kenyans feel that the DP was very powerful in the first term of President Uhuru Kenyatta's government, and therefore, if there's anything he ought to have done to them, it should have been that time and not now. And of course, the handshake has come and the DP is now running away. Like the other day he was saying yesterday that Raila Odinga is a project of the government, of the state. How can an opposition leader become a state project? So if Uhuru Kenyatta were to support DP, does it mean therefore that DP would be a state project? So because the DP has been part of the government and the government failed at those times, failed to even provide Kenyans, because Jubilee government actually promised Kenyans paid internships. Never happened. They promised Kenyans millions of jobs. Never happened. And because he's been part and parcel of that failed government, Kenyans are not very keen on his new bottom-up approach, apart from his supporters. And by the way, it's very difficult for the DP to explain why he has failed to perform what he can do to Kenyans now, which he could do to them 5 years ago. There was a narrative, they were saying that he was just a deputy president. But remember, this is a guy who was telling Kenyans that their government was not a nuzumukate. And of course, every Kenyan knows he was very powerful. And because he's been part of government, majority of Kenyans are not taking his new promises seriously. And that's why Raila Odinga is winning when it comes to the hustler versus 6K narrative. In fact, the 6K cash transfer, which Raila Odinga is promising, is ambitious. I tend to think it's not practical. The other day I saw Raila Odinga, I didn't listen, but I'll watch it, explaining how he's going to do it. But it's not very practical. But other countries are doing it. There are countries where unemployed people are given the transfers. Even in this country, wazee wanapata pesa yao every 3 months. I think my dad used to get some. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.